What it do, guys? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha, the God, man. Look, man. Today I want to make a different type of video because there's nothing actually currently out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing currently out, we gotta be creative with it. We gotta come through with some different type of energy with it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk about one of my favorite manga slash webtoons in One Punch Man. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about specifically one topic, and that is demand versus quality. Now, this is important, especially in reference to One Punch Man, is because of the current changes that are going to occur. So Murata tweeted that they're going to do some major rewriting of the manga. So the manga is the one after the webtoon. The webtoon is the original and it's ahead, and then the manga is when Murata and Juan go through and fix stuff from the webtoon to make it more perfect for a wider audience, right? I read both. But so why I'm talking about demand versus quality here is because they're currently rewriting chapters that have already been released in the manga. So, and why I think that it's a demand versus quality thing is because, look, One Punch Man is in crazy, crazy high demand. 2 seasons of an anime, a webtoon, and a manga all dropping at, a lot of times at the same time. So that means that, and Murata, somebody like Murata, the artiste, he's doing about 6 projects, 5 projects. I don't know how many projects. He's doing several projects. One Punch Man being his main project, but he's doing other main projects on top of that. One himself is obviously working on the webtoon to come up with the concept, come up with the progress. Then he's coming back to the manga to reposition those and fix and tweak those, right? And then he's also assisting in the anime to make sure the story isn't like too far left or too far right. And Murata is also involved in that as well, deciding certain color for clothes and stuff like that. If he doesn't like a color, they got the animations, gotta change it. If you know, in season 2, there was a shirt in the trailer, I think it was red originally or green originally, and then it turned to one of the other colors, either red or green, because Murata wanted that change. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are always working like crazy. So I'm not even going like I love my mangas or webtoons to come out consistently. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand that these guys are overworked a lot of times, and I prefer if they take a 6 month break, 1 year break, just to rethink and not draw, just come up with the concept. This is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen. That's what I've been doing with my own story. And yes, it takes a hell of time. And one of the reasons I haven't released chapters of my book yet is because I don't want to be in a situation when I'm releasing a chapter every week or every month that I'm like, oh, what's going to happen next? I don't know what's going to happen. What about this side character? Damn it, I forgot about that side story. So I'm trying to shape everything as much as possible. And yes, it's been 4 years of shaping it. But now when I release it, it'll be 5, 6, 7 years straight of just releasing stuff that's already thought out. And yes, I might change things at the time, but most of it will stay consistent, right? And this is what I mean, because he's so overworked, and also there's Mob Psycho, the anime and stuff like that. He's so overworked, and so is Murata. They're both so overworked that like sometimes you think the idea is good there and then, but you have a limitation. You have to think of what's happening next month, right? That chapter next month, so he has to draw it, come up with the designs, think of new characters, think of new act story, all that shit, while simultaneously thinking how we're gonna adapt season 3 of the anime, while simultaneously thinking if they're getting a season 3, while simultaneously thinking how I'm gonna change this concept that I just thought of for the manga to make it more streamlined. So they're doing so much, and I think this is where the demand is kind of hurting the quality, because the fact that Murata and One have to go back and remove scenes, you know what I'm saying, and change scenes, like they specifically, it's not really a spoiler if you read the manga. It might be a spoiler for an anime only, but so just be aware that it's about a Mind Mask. A Mind Mask kills a group of people that were monsterfied. Right now, he's half a monster himself, so you know what I'm saying. Well, at least it seems in the manga so far, right? So when he kills them heartlessly, that affects his character in the future in the webtoon, because in the webtoon certain things and aspects and scenarios occur that you want to kind of human like make him seem a certain way, and with that action it's hard for fans to feel remorse for him, right? If the actions that he did back then are not rectified. So one realizing this as he was writing, because maybe he realized, damn, I want IMMS to play a bigger role in the story. He's like, damn, I gotta go and it's essentially like remove all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And switch that shit around. But because that happens, that means the next chapter has to be switched, because what happens next is directly following up from what happened in the chapter before. So this retcon is going to affect quite a lot of chapters, because that means there has to be additions now in other chapters in order to make sense of them still being alive. It has to add stuff, so it could potentially affect like 20 chapters, potentially. Now it could be way less. They could figure out a way to just do it all in that one chapter, but then it might seem rushed. So there's just so many things occurring that makes it a difficult task to handle. And that's my thing with like even Tower of God. To talk about Tower of God for a little bit, I feel like that sometimes feel like he has the same problem, because it's on a week by week schedule. It's even harder, right? Now, luckily, he's usually 3 weeks ahead, but that still means like those 3 weeks ahead aren't really even ahead, because that's the paid advance. You know what I'm saying? So he's overworking like crazy. So sometimes I get annoyed at like the story arc and the characters and stuff like that, but I understand, bro. The pressure is insane. Now, if you think about it, there's always arcs where it feels like he had more time to do stuff, right? He took a few breaks, I'm pretty sure, during I think 4 years of him writing it now. But during these breaks, you see when he comes back, the story is usually more solid. For the first like 50, 60, 70, 80 chapters, it's pure solid. And then as he gets more and more tired, more and more worn down, and it's catching up to him, the story slight slapping a little bit. And this happens with almost every type of manga or webtoon, etc., right? The only time this doesn't really happen is in like romances and stuff like that, where they don't need to do action. They don't need to build 79 million characters. They don't need to build 50 million worlds. They don't need to, do you know what I mean? There's not as much scope and size. It's not like this big grandiose Star Wars X universe that you're trying to build, right? It's just a small world confined of these people, and it's character focused, so it's a lot easier and more tangible to create on a weekly basis. But when you're doing world building as big as Hardcore Leveling Warrior, as big as Tower of God, and as big as One Punch Man, it's much more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd even say that Tower of God is even harder than both of these, since its world is already established to be so much bigger. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy thing about it. So I really feel for these guys, and I just want us as readers to really appreciate what these guys do, and just take a moment to be like, damn, if they miss a week, if they miss a month, if they miss 6 months, if they miss a year, we gotta be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite mangas, which I think was affected by this type of situation, is Desert Punk. You know what I'm saying? The author was sick. He had like stomach issues. He was hospitalized for long periods of time. And every time he came back, the story just dived a little. You know what I'm saying? He was too broken down, but he signed the contract probably to write this shit. You know what I'm saying? So he gotta go back and immediately write this shit. He doesn't even get to properly rest and recuperate 110% before he can get back to the workforce and really think out these thoughts, rethink these thoughts, and publish them to us readers. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes our demand hinders the quality of the work that we love. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to be patient. A lot of people always pushing for shit. Movies, whatever it is, people always pushing shit for shit. But like, you wanna let these creatives do what they do best, and that's create. In order for them to create, you need to be in the right mind space. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I struggle to make songs because I'm not in the right mind space. Sometimes I struggle to do this, just make a video, because I'm not in the right mind space. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like this doesn't even take that much creativity. It seems like, but it does take some kind of thought. It does take some type of energy. It does take some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta present yourself a certain way. You gotta speak a certain way, depending on how you decided to present yourself. And then you gotta talk about all these characters and try not to mix up too many names and try not to mess up the storylines, which I do all the damn time. We only human, baby. But you know, so I imagine instead of doing that, right, like me just dropping a video every day, you gotta draw these characters every day. You gotta think of 10 steps ahead every day. You gotta come up with concepts of these characters every day. You gotta think in 20 chapters where this guy gonna be. Damn, what about those characters from 100 chapters ago? it looked like they had something happening. I gotta figure out how to bring them back. What point should they come back? And then there's these other characters that they should meet at this place. How is that going to happen? There's just so many layers. Like, it's not easy doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to give a moment of appreciation to all mangakas, all komikas. I don't, it's mangakas, but I'm just going to say komikas as well. All manhwakas. All of these guys, man, they deserve all of our love. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, make sure, even Tower Guard right now, the anime, I haven't even watched past episode 1, even though I praised episode 1. There was a few things that annoyed me, like the dude with the eyes that Bam tried to stab without even any thought, remorse, or nothing. Which in the webtoon, as you see, he takes up he doesn't want to do it. His hands are shaking. He's scared, and he's like, "Damn it! Do I have to really kill this person?" And then when Kun stops him, he's like, "Oh, thank you, man. I really didn't want to do it." But you don't see that same thing in the anime. Now again, it's similar situations. These guys got a deadline. These guys got certain amount of time. They got a lot of work to do, and sometimes you gotta make cuts. So it's difficult. But at the same time, this is why I stopped reviewing it, because I felt like I had too much. I'm probably gonna end up having too much negative shit to say, and I don't want to shit on it. I want to promote it. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary, I want to promote it. So I'm gonna leave it marinated for a few episodes and come back to it with like a specific thought, like, okay, this is what I don't like, and this is what I do love. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I want this shit to continue happening, and I want more people to get opportunities to work on this project. And the only way we can do that is by supporting the great projects like Tower of God that has high potential to really go up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Anyway, it's been the boy Supreme Cheer to God, man. Just a few thoughts about all this type of situation, demand versus quality. What do you think about it? Do you think that mangakas gotta just do it weekly or monthly, whatever schedule is set, they just gotta keep to it, and it's fine to have like one annual breaks, but any more than that is too much? Or do you think that whenever they feel like you can't handle it anymore, it's too much, that they should just stop, take a year out, take whatever time they need to come back stronger, fresher, better, and give us the shit that we really want? You know what I'm saying? At least that's my thought. I think they take as much time as they need, even if I gotta wait for a year or 2 years, which I've done for certain creative projects that I love. You know, like Young Justice. We waited like 3-4 years for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's here now. Now I gotta rewatch the whole thing. I haven't watched it yet, season 3, because I gotta rewatch the whole shebang, so that it makes sense to me now, because it was so many years apart that it's like, damn, now I gotta rewatch everything. So it feels like a chore and I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? But I will definitely do it, because I always gotta support the shit that I love. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, and don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe, because you know what I'm saying, we're really trying to level up. We got over 40 subscribers this month alone. You guys are fucking beautiful. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? 40 something subs this month alone. Can we reach to 300? Can we reach 300 by the end of May? If we can reach 300 by the end of May, man, golly, man. Golly, you guys are just phenomenal, man. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Love doing these daily videos. It's been your boy Supreme Cheer to God, and I am out.